IT security is highly important in the world of online, which is interconnected, making the life easy for the users and a perfect hunting land for cyber criminals with insecure and connected information and data available openly. The vitalness of IT security goes high because it protects all categories of data from theft and damage. This includes sensitive data, personally identifiable information, personal information, intellectual property, data, and governmental and industrial information systems. Companies need to be confident that they have strong data security and that they can protect against cyber attacks and other unauthorized accesses and data breaches. The importance of IT security user awareness can be expressed by these eye-opening stats. 95% of cybersecurity breaches are caused by human error, and 49% of employees have admit that they have clicked links in messages from unknown senders during working hours. But with proper user awareness, these stats will be changed into positive numbers. Now we will start our IT security awareness with email security area. I would like to say that the FBI's Internet Crime Complaints Center reported that people have lost 57 million US dollars to phishing schemes during a single year, and 90% of successful attacks against businesses have begun with a single malicious email. Keeping that fact in the mind, you should always act geniusly when using emails, adhering to the facts such as verification of sender, attachment and links of email plus the displayed facts. Following shown are some of the common email threats such as phishing viruses and malware email spoofing and scams, which will bring nightmares to the user lives. But if you act geniusly adhering to the facts which I have mentioned in the previous slide, you will be in the safe zone. The complaints and frustrations about web browsing experiences are always on the rise. There are a few common themes that occur again and again, including lack of website compatibility, the threats posed by malicious software and viruses, disruptive pop-ups, and data privacy. With all these factors, I will now present you some facts which might protect yourself and make your internet experience a safer and more satisfying experience. Keeping your browser and related plugins updated, keeping an up-to-date antivirus and firewall protection, and avoiding suspicious online links are some of the key facts which leads you to a safe browsing environment. Next, we will move on to the password management, which is a key concept on securing your valuable data and information. Due to increased technology adaptation and the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, more important data is being stored on different networks. This means a large amount of data is now vulnerable to unauthorized access. Password management allows you to safeguard your credential against unauthorized access to accounts and services. The most important fact that you must be aware on password management is that you should avoid writing passwords or keeping them in an insecure file or document. And never ever email your password to anyone, including yourself. When constructing password, Try to use more than 12 characters in length and mix up the password with uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers and special characters. Moving towards the latter part of this session, now I would like to address one of the key points of IT security, which is the IT risk assessment. Risk assessment is the process of identifying vulnerabilities within an organization and taking carefully responsive steps to assure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the organization's information assets. Usually, there are uncountable number of risks for an entity. Anything that could affect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of systems and assets could be considered as an IT risk. During the risk assessment, following goals must be achieved: the identification of organization's assets, the threats and vulnerabilities of organization assets, and the assessment of relative risk for each of the identified vulnerabilities. Next, an assignment of a risk rating or score to each specific information asset will be done, which will be used for gauging the relative risk introduced by each vulnerable asset and facilities, making comparative rating later in the risk control process. With that, we have reached the conclusion of this session. As the closing note, I would like to express that IT security user awareness is a must for a safe corporate journey of the company. Thank you for participating to this session and hope you have enriched with some knowledge on IT security.